What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Mark Tibbs, Billy Joe Saunders, IFL TV, and Canelo Alvarez. Now, this morning, good friend of mine sent me a video, and it was by the infamous YB. And the question was, why did Mark Tibbs, or why did IFL or DAZN remove the IFL television interview with Mark Tibbs? Now, because of the source, I didn't really think about it. I mean, YB, he does a lot of things upside down and around, so I really can't take him for cash value. I thought nothing of it until I didn't look into it until Hatman Strikes Back posted a video a couple hours ago about the same thing. And then when you hear more than one thing, or hear one thing on more than one channel, you then start to get suspicious. It started interesting me. So I checked it out. And in fact, the IFL television, that whole interview is gone. If you look to try to find it, it is not there. So the question you ask yourself is, why would DAZN, or why would whoever, maybe it was some affiliates with MTK Global or whatnot, why would they request that interview be removed from YouTube? That's the question you ask yourself, okay? That's just a question you ask yourself, okay? Now, before I post this, it's going to be a link. So if you guys hearing this now, I hope you've already voted. But I asked this question on the community, did Billy Joe quit? And Mark Tibbs did say something along the lines where Billy Joe, because I have it, because I covered it when it happened. Okay, so I have a piece of it on my interview, or when I was counterpunching that particular interview. And I think it was number 104, I believe. And that's when Mark Tibbs was saying that he stopped the fight because Billy Joe did not give him the response that he needed. Not because his eye was busted, not because they knew his eye was broken or shattered or whatever. We'll get to that in a second. But he stopped it due to the response, the response that Billy Joe Saunders gave him. That's why he stopped the fight. Okay. Now, if you want to argue that Billy Joe didn't quit or whatever, fine. But I can tell you this. Based on how he responded that I could see, I saw the whole fight. And Billy Joe, I didn't hear him say no. I didn't hear his lips say, I didn't hear any of that, right? I didn't see him shake his head. I didn't see any mannerism, body language, tone that showed me that he did not want that fight to be stopped. Now, we have numerous other examples when fighters get pissed that their trainers stop the fight. Deontay Wilder, perfect example. He didn't want that fight to get stopped. Yes, he was getting beat up, but did he quit? No. Did he want to quit? No. Did he fire Mark Breland because Mark Breland threw in the towel? Yes. Okay, he fired him. Okay, that's fact. Mark Breland is no longer with Deontay Wilder. Diego Corrales and his stepfather, he was fired. Not fired, but he was pissed because he stopped the fight when Floyd Mayweather was just outshining him, outpointing him, dropped him 5 to 6, 7 times maybe. And his father threw in the towel in the 9th round. Okay, he was ecstatic. Chico Corrales was pissed. He was livid. Okay? Vitaly Klitschko, he did not want the fight to be stopped, even though ooze was coming all out of his eye. He could barely see and meat was hanging. He didn't want that fight to be stopped, though. Okay? So those are examples I just gave you of people that did not want the fight to stop. I did not see that from Billy Joe Saunders. We got to keep it real. Now, I did report a video yesterday with Ben Davison saying that he did say no. And again, I can't say what I can't say what I didn't see. I can't call it. I'm sorry. I can't say that this guy did that because I didn't see it. Okay? So, there you go. It did seem like, I read the comments. It did seem a bit like damage control, and now it more seems like that. Why? Because they've taken Mark Tibbs' interview down because Mark Tibbs started going, I don't want to comment too much about it, because he didn't want to say too much that implied, which he already did, honestly, that Billy Joe quit. He just didn't want to say he quit. Okay? So that would convey that Billy Joe quit. That's why they got rid of that damn interview. That's my counterpunch. IFL, they took it down because MTK Global did not want Billy Joe Saunders to be seen as a quitter. Okay, now the same scrutiny that Billy Joe Saunders has got from people all over the world, his countrymen, Mexicans, all over people, they did, right, and can criticize Billy Joe Saunders. Now, here's the thing. Billy Joe did that to Daniel Dubois. Oh, yeah, he did. Go out on your shield, brother. Get carried out of the ring, brother. Remember he said that? Now, Triple D, being who he is, he didn't fly back. He didn't respond or counterpunch back. But what he did do, that didn't stop other people from doing that. Okay, because you have other people now. We've got evidence that has been wiped off the face of the planet. See, that's the problem. Okay, so if we're going to criticize anybody else, we need to criticize him in the same way. You got to be fair about it. How many people ran up Wilder's ass for saying that he was cheated and said he had evidence? Right? Because it was an excuse. Even though Wilder didn't quit, so it's a different situation. However, you know, the fight was stopped. But for people saying that he didn't quit or not, it seems like he quit due to a damaged eye. Now, it was swollen. And here's the other question. Was the eye actually broken? Did he actually damage his eye that severe like they claimed? That's another question. Now, see, if you take Wilder's situation with the evidence that he's claimed that he will produce versus what people would want to justify the stoppage of Billy Joe Saunders' fight, I think they should go, in fact, show people the autopsy. No, show people the x-rays of the eye and the cheek being broken or fractured, because it's not one of those things where I feel it's not out of the ordinary, because people are going to ask for that. Just like people are asking for the proof of Wilder, fair enough. Let's ask for the proof of Billy Joe Saunders. Counterpunch. You got to look, you have to be fair about this shit, because if you don't, you become one-sided, or you show favoritism from one person to another. However, though, to be fair, Wilder did say he was going to provide the evidence. Billy Joe ain't said any of that shit, right? Daniel Dubois never provided any evidence either. But here's the thing that messes it up. Kell Brook did, and Kell Brook fractured both, right? The right and the left. So he fractured both. So him and his doctor provided that. So that really puts a one-up and a high demand on what they need to show to prove. I mean, that's if they do it all. It just sounds strange. It seems very strange to me how they would snatch an IFL interview. So an interview that was a huge interview from IFL. So it had to take someone to say, hey, take that off. You know what I mean? Because I think the narrative they're trying to paint is they're trying to paint Billy Joe as a guy that got injured and he quit due to injury. And what Mark Tibbs' interview contradicts that and shows that maybe there wasn't an injury, and if we can't provide proof of an injury, how will we ever know there's an injury? It would just been, hey, he didn't respond like I wanted, so I stopped the fight. Right? So basically, yeah, he quit based on what you acknowledged about your fighter. You didn't think your fighter was good enough, and he didn't give you any type of response that he really wanted to continue, or he really did not want you to stop the fight. That's the huge statement right there. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about the IFL TV interview being scrubbed off the internet. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.